The way the presidency jumped at the EU report shows there is connivance between them and Inec, Chukwusakunna. Nigerian journalist and the executive director of the authority newspaper, Chukwusakunna reacted to the European Union Electoral Observers Mission report on the 2023 February general election and shows connivance between the presidency and Inec. Recall that the EU's report, which faulted the 2023 general elections while pointing out factors such as violence, killings, and vote buying as reasons for its condemnation, was strongly rejected by the presidency, describing it as a product of a poorly done desk job that relied heavily on few persons. He said, you see, EU came and gave us 17 million euros to support INEC. Really? EU supports the Northeast Development in Asia Commission. EU does this, EU does that. Then a man who gave as much as 17 or 18 billion in support doesn't have the right to say, hey guys, your people didn't do this well. Then you said a few days after the EU damning report, the presidency jumped at the report, which showed you that there is a connivance between the presidency and INEC because the report did not mention Tinubu. The report knocked INEC and security agencies. I think now let's even clear the word what connivance means. Connivance means willingness to allow or be secretly involved in an immoral or illegal act. Very interesting. It's obviously used within the political context. But I think after on first impressions of this report, I felt like the report was very much like a baby slap, like don't do this again, INEC, you should not be corrupt. And I'm like, wait, I don't understand. You see, all these international investors, the EU, international communities that have business in Nigeria and go as far as to pump money into the country for whatever projects that they have. Why would they not together? Why would they not plan? You know, this country is known to be so corrupt, right? And then you choose to pump millions of euros into that, saying, come on, and you yourself don't have plans. So I don't think the INEC report is one of, but I don't think it's the great indicator that we needed to show that there might be some connivance between the two parties, right? So in my personal opinion, I personally don't think so. I don't think that there's such, to be honest. But yeah, there is connivance, but I don't think the INEC report by the EU was the determinant. If the EU was doing it out of the good of their heart, let's say they were not involved, but they're heavily involved in Nigeria, especially when it comes to the youth and different projects that they have. And what did they say that has not been said before? If anything, if the EU wanted to be, helping and show that they were, genuine, then they'd take their funds out of the country. Then they'd be like, you know what, we're pulling out all our money. We don't have time for this. Because again, you don't just give, it's like you're giving your opinion, but your opinion is not going to yield to any result. They are not using their power as a genuine tool to basically bring out positive results, aka making sure INEC actually changes or holding them accountable, right? And if anything, if they're holding INEC accountable, then they should be like, wait a minute, should Tinubu be president? But again, as Chukwusakunna has pointed out, they haven't directed anything at Tinubu. They have just said, INEC, your processes, the way you did this, the way you did that, is not right. It shows lack of transparency between you and the people, blah, blah, blah. But then as a result, what happens? Nothing. They do not bring their funds out of the country. They keep investing. And what they do is they're still involved. So again, then what is the point of giving a whole report? How do you then trust the EU? So please, this might just be a whole game where the government will say, oh, we don't agree with what they're saying. The presidency will come out and attack it. But whatever it is, we can't come out and say that it's Nigeria that has the power here, because we can definitely tell that money basically rules this country. But yeah, only in Nigeria you will see people celebrating poverty in the name of tribalism. Another person says, I hope everyone is enjoying, so nobody is begging anybody for good government. What else is this called? APC and INEC will soon confess for whatever evil that they have done to Nigeria. Even as a Yoruba man, I knew Tinubu never won that election. This is never a democracy, because the heroes of democracy will never be happy about the outcome of the general election. Interesting. The criminals are always in alert. Partnership in corruption. You need not wonder why they connive with Inec to manipulate to their own advantage. Again, any investor, anybody that wants to pump in millions of, whatever currency that's not naira, because anything other than naira is valuable, but pump in millions of money for whatever project, for whatever reason. And this country is corrupt. Even you yourself, come on. Inec again is not, giving their report. Inec is not the only indicator that they're, in connivance. There are so many other issues, right? You look at the NSAS pro. You look at so many wrong that's going on in the country, and yet you have international bodies, businesses, companies, investors, investments. All these people do not say anything, because if they were really intentional, what is a sanction? What does it mean to pull out your investments and say, from this time, we're just going to stop, interacting and doing business here? But they will never do that, because they themselves understand that, yes, Nigeria is our corrupt haven for us to do what we also want to do. Nothing threatens that. The people are willing to cooperate. So why should they? Why should they pull the investments? Why should they, allow for that change? Listen, everyone's for themselves. And it's very sad, because at this point, we might as well be owned, or if not already owned, by a lot of international bodies that don't even want to see the change that we ask for. So they will never ever support us. Put what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.